Hi, welcome to Being Loved. So today I have something really special for you. This is a story about love that doesn't end with death, about sacrifice that goes beyond a single lifetime, and about two souls who are meant to be together no matter what the universe throws at them. Being a ghost isn't like the movies. There's no floating through walls whenever I want, or moving objects with my mind. Trust me, I tried. I spent the first year of being dead attempting to knock over cups, flicker lights, or do anything to let Adrian know I was still around. Nothing worked. Instead, I learned the actual rules of being a ghost the hard way. Rule 1: I can only exist near Adrian. If he travels more than 100 meters away from me, I get pulled along like a balloon on a string. I tried to visit my parents once. The moment I got close to their house and far from Adrian, I got yanked back to wherever he was. It hurt worse than dying did. Rule 2: I'm invisible to everyone except during moments of extreme emotion. And even then, it's just a flicker. Once, during a business meeting, Adrian got so angry at a rival company trying to cheat him that I appeared for exactly 3 seconds. He saw me standing in the corner. His face went white. Then I vanished again, and he convinced himself he'd imagined it. Rule 3: I can't touch anything or anyone. My hands pass through everything like I'm made of air. Except for one weird exception, I can turn the pages of books. Don't ask me why. Ghost logic makes no sense. Rule 4, and this is the worst one. I have to watch Adrian fall in love with someone else, and I can't do anything about it. Chen entered Adrian's life 3 years after I died. They met at some fancy charity event. Chen is everything I'm not. Tall, sophisticated, comes from old money, speaks 4 languages, and has perfect cheekbones that could cut glass. He's also genuinely kind, which makes it impossible for me to hate him. Their first date was at an expensive restaurant I could never have afforded when I was alive. I sat in the empty chair next to Adrian, watching Chen make him laugh. Actually laugh. The sound made my ghostly heart soar and shatter at the same time. You have a beautiful smile, Chen said. You should do it more often. Adrian's smile faded a bit. Someone used to tell me that all the time. Used to? He died 5 years ago. Adrian looked down at his wineglass. He was my best friend. My everything, really. Chen reached across the table and touched Adrian's hand gently. He must have been an amazing person. He was. Adrian's voice cracked. He called me ridiculous nicknames and made terrible puns and burned everything he tried to cook. But he was the best person I ever knew. I wanted to cry, but ghosts can't make tears. Chen didn't push for more information. He just sat there being understanding and perfect. And I realized something terrible. Chen was actually good for Adrian. He made Adrian happy in ways I never could anymore. He was real and warm and alive, but I still hated watching them together. Over the next few months, Adrian and Chen grew closer. Date nights, holding hands in public. Chen meeting Adrian's business partners. It was like watching my replacement live the life I dreamed about. The worst part was that Adrian seemed lighter somehow. Like he was finally moving on from the grief that had swallowed him whole after my death. I should want that for him. I do want that for him. But it still hurt. Then came the night that changed everything. Adrian and Chen were at Adrian's penthouse apartment, the one with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the entire city. They were drinking wine on the couch, and Chen was telling some story about his modeling shoot in Paris. Adrian was actually relaxed, actually smiling. Then Chen leaned in and kissed him. I had to look away. I couldn't watch this. I turned toward the window, trying to give them privacy, even though they had no idea I was there. But then I heard Adrian say something that made me freeze. Wait, stop. I turned back. Chen pulled away, looking concerned. Did I do something wrong? Adrian stood up and walked to the window, standing exactly where I was standing. For a moment, we occupied the same space, and I felt the strangest sensation. Like I could feel his heartbeat, like I could feel his pain. I can't do this, Adrian said quietly. I'm sorry, Chen. You're perfect. You're everything anyone could want. But every time I'm with you, I keep thinking about Kai. I keep wondering what he'd say or what stupid joke he'd make. I keep seeing his face instead of yours. And that's not fair to you. Chen stood up too, but he didn't look angry. Just sad. You're still in love with him. He's been dead for 5 years. Adrian's voice broke. I should be over this by now, but I'm not. I don't think I'll ever be. I died on a Tuesday. Not the best way to start a story, I know. But that's exactly what happened. One moment, I was pushing Adrian out of the way of a speeding truck, and the next moment, everything went black. When I opened my eyes again, I expected heaven, hell, or maybe just nothing. Instead, I got something way worse. I got to watch my own funeral. There I was, standing in the corner of the church, completely invisible, while everyone cried over my coffin. My mom couldn't stop sobbing. My dad just stared at the floor like he'd forgotten how to move, but the person who hurt me the most to see was Adrian. He sat in the front row, completely silent. No tears, no expression, just empty eyes staring at my photo on the casket. The same Adrian who used to laugh so hard at my stupid jokes that milk would come out of his nose. The same Adrian who held my hand during thunderstorms, even though we were already in high school. The same Adrian who started calling me Wifey when we were 7 years old because I always made sure he ate his lunch. Kai would want you to smile, my aunt told him, putting a hand on his shoulder. Adrian didn't respond. He just kept staring. I tried to touch him. My hand went right through his shoulder. That's when reality hit me like a second truck. I was dead. Actually dead. And I was stuck here as a ghost while everyone else moved on with their lives. The funeral ended, people left, but Adrian stayed behind, sitting alone in that empty church for 3 more hours. When he finally stood up, he walked to my coffin and pressed his forehead against the wood. You promised we'd grow old together, he whispered. You promised, Kai. My chest hurt even though I didn't have a working heart anymore. I wanted to tell him I was sorry. I wanted to tell him I didn't regret saving his life. I wanted to tell him that I loved him, that I'd loved him since we were kids, that every time he called me wifey, my heart did backflips. But I couldn't say anything. I couldn't do anything except watch him walk away. That was 5 years ago. Now I'm watching Adrian sign a business deal worth millions of dollars. He's wearing a custom suit that probably costs more than my dad's car. His hair is styled perfectly. His eyes are sharp and cold. He's become everything everyone said he'd never be. Back in school, kids bullied Adrian every single day. They called him worthless. They said he'd never amount to anything because he came from a poor family. They pushed him around, stole his things, and made his life miserable. I was the only one who stood up for him. I was the only one who believed in him. And look at him now. He's the CEO of the biggest tech company in the country. He's on magazine covers. He's dating a famous model named Chen, who looks like he walked straight out of a fashion runway. I should be happy for him. I am happy for him. But it also kills me that I'm not part of his success. I'm just a ghost, floating around his fancy office, watching him live the life we were supposed to build together. Mr. Zhao, your 4 o'clock appointment is here. His secretary announces through the intercom. Adrian doesn't even look up from his paperwork. Send them in. This is what he's become. Cold. Distant. Nothing like the boy who used to cry during sad movies, and who made me flower crowns in the park. Sometimes I wonder if saving his life was worth losing mine. Sometimes I wonder if he even remembers me anymore, but then I see it. On his desk, hidden behind his computer monitor where nobody else can see it. A small photo of us from high school. We're both smiling. His arm is around my shoulder. On the back, I know exactly what it says because I wrote it myself. To my Adrian from your wifey forever. He kept it. After all these years, he kept it. Maybe there's still hope. Maybe he hasn't forgotten me after all. Chen left that night, and they broke up peacefully. Adrian stood alone in his penthouse for hours, just staring out at the city lights. I stayed next to him, wishing more than anything that I could hold his hand like I used to. I miss you, he whispered to the empty room. I miss you so much it physically hurts, Kai. Why did you have to be such an idiot? Why did you have to save me? If only he knew I was right there. If only I could answer him. But I couldn't. So instead, I did the only thing I could do. I thought back to how we got here. To that day. The day I died and he lived. It was supposed to be a normal day. Adrian and I were walking home from school together like we always did. We were seniors, about to graduate. We had plans. I was going to study business management at a local college. Adrian was going to work his way up from whatever job he could get. We promised that someday we'd start a company together. You'll be the CEO, I told him, bumping his shoulder with mine. I'll be the one who makes sure you actually eat lunch and don't work yourself to death. So basically, you'll be my wife, Adrian said with that crooked smile I loved. I've been your wifey since we were 7. Might as well make it official. He laughed. God, I loved his laugh. It was the best sound in the world. We were at a crosswalk, waiting for the light to change. Adrian was telling me about how our English teacher had announced a pop quiz, and he'd accidentally studied the wrong chapter. He was doing this dramatic reenactment of his panic, complete with ridiculous hand gestures. I was laughing so hard my stomach hurt. The light turned green. We stepped into the crosswalk. That's when I saw it. A delivery truck running the red light, heading straight for us. The driver was looking down at his phone, not paying attention. It wasn't going to stop. Time slowed down. I looked at Adrian, still talking and smiling, completely unaware. I looked at the truck maybe 3 seconds from impact. I looked at the future I'd always imagined. Us growing old together, flashing before my eyes. Then time sped up again, and I made my choice. I shoved Adrian as hard as I could. He stumbled backward, out of the truck's path, confusion on his face. The truck hit me instead. I remember the impact, the pain, the sound of Adrian screaming my name, then nothing. When I woke up as a ghost, still at the accident scene, Adrian was holding my body. There was blood everywhere. His hands were shaking. He was saying my name over and over like a prayer. Kai, wake up. Please wake up. You can't leave me. You promised we'd grow old together. You promised, you idiot. Wake up. But I couldn't wake up. I was already gone. The paramedics arrived and pulled Adrian away from my body. He fought them, actually fought them, trying to get back to me. It took 3 people to hold him back while they loaded me into the ambulance. I tried to follow the ambulance, but I got yanked back to Adrian instead. That's when I realized I wasn't tied to my body anymore. I was tied to him, present day. Adrian has thrown himself into work even harder since the breakup with Chen. He's at the office until midnight every night. He skips meals. He barely sleeps. I've watched him build this empire, but I've also watched him destroy himself piece by piece. Tonight he's alone in his office at 11 p.m., reviewing contracts. His secretary left hours ago. The building is empty except for security guards. And me. I'm sitting in the chair across from his desk, watching him work. It's what I do every night. Sometimes I talk to him even though he can't hear me. It makes me feel less lonely. You need to sleep, I tell him. You have that presentation tomorrow at 9 a.m. Remember? The one with the international investors? Obviously, he doesn't respond. He just keeps reading, highlighting important sections. Also, you haven't eaten since breakfast. There's a sandwich in your office fridge that your secretary left for you. It's turkey and Swiss, your favorite. Nothing. He flips to the next page. Adrian. I lean forward even though he can't see me. Please take care of yourself. If not for you, then for me. I didn't save your life just so you could waste it working yourself to death. His pen stops moving. For a second, I think maybe he heard me. But then he just sighs and rubs his eyes. I'm so tired, Kai, he says to the empty room. My ghostly heart breaks. He does this sometimes, talks to me like I'm there, like he can feel my presence even if he can't see me. Then go home and sleep, I answer, knowing he won't hear. Everything I built, everything I became, it was supposed to be for us. We were supposed to do this together. He puts down his pen and looks at the photo of us on his desk. But you're not here. You'll never be here, and I don't know how to accept that. I wish I could tell him I am here. I wish I could tell him I've been here this whole time, watching him succeed, proud of everything he's accomplished. Suddenly the building shakes. At first I think it's just Adrian's exhaustion making him dizzy. But then it happens again, harder this time. The picture frames on the wall rattle. Adrian's coffee cup slides across the desk. Earthquake. Adrian stands up quickly, heading for the doorway like you're supposed to do. But the shaking gets worse. Much worse. I hear a terrible cracking sound from above. I look up and see the ceiling starting to cave in. Adrian, move! I scream, even though he can't hear me. But something impossible happens. He freezes and looks directly at where I'm standing. His eyes go wide. Kai. The ceiling collapses. Huge chunks of concrete and steel beams fall toward him. He's gonna die. After everything, after I saved him once, he's gonna die anyway. No. I don't know how I do it. Maybe it's desperation. Maybe it's love. Maybe ghosts have powers they don't know about until they absolutely need them. But I feel something shift inside me. I feel solid for the first time in 5 years. I throw myself at Adrian, shoving him out of the way just like I did 5 years ago. But this time when I touch him, he doesn't go through me. This time I'm real. We crash to the floor together as debris falls where Adrian was just standing. The shaking stops as suddenly as it started. The emergency lights flicker on, bathing everything in an eerie red glow. Adrian is underneath me, staring up at me with absolute shock on his face. His hands are gripping my arms, solid arms. He can touch me. He can see me. Kai? His voice is barely a whisper. You're real. You're actually real. I open my mouth to respond, but I can already feel it happening. I'm becoming transparent again. My brief moment of solidity is fading. Wait, no. Adrian tightens his grip, but his hands start passing through me. Don't go. Please don't go. Not again. I never left, I managed to say before I fade completely. I've been here the whole time, Adrian. I've always been here. Then I'm invisible again, incorporeal again, and Adrian is alone on the floor, holding empty air. Adrian doesn't go home that night. After the earthquake, after seeing me, after I vanished again, he sits on the floor of his damaged office until sunrise. Security guards check on him multiple times, but he just tells them he's fine and sends them away. I sit next to him the whole time, watching his mind work through what just happened. You're here, he says to the empty space beside him. I know you're here, Kai. I felt you. I saw you. That wasn't my imagination. I want to answer so badly it hurts. I try to speak, try to make myself visible again like I did during the earthquake, but nothing happens. Whatever power I had accessed in that moment of crisis is gone now. Adrian pulls out his phone and starts searching. Ghosts. How to see ghosts. How to communicate with spirits. He scrolls through dozens of websites, reading everything from scientific articles to supernatural blogs. He looks ridiculous, this powerful CEO in his expensive suit, sitting in his destroyed office researching ghosts on his phone at 5 a.m. But he's never looked more beautiful to me. There has to be a way, he mutters. If you saved me again, if you've been watching over me this whole time, then there has to be a way for us to talk. By the time his secretary arrives at 8 a.m., Adrian has filled 3 pages of his notebook with research. He's learned about mediums, seances, EVP recordings, electromagnetic field detectors, and every other method people claim can contact the dead. Mr. Zhao? His secretary Linda stares at the destroyed office and at Adrian's disheveled appearance. Are you all right? Should I call someone? Linda, do you believe in ghosts? She blinks. I'm sorry, what? Ghosts? Spirits? The dead remaining in our world? Do you believe in them? I've never really thought about it. Adrian stands up and I see the determination in his eyes. The same determination that built his company from nothing. Cancel all my meetings for the next week. I need to take personal time. But sir, the investor presentation, reschedule it, everything. I have something more important to take care of. This is how Adrian, one of the most powerful businessmen in the country, ends up visiting every medium, psychic, and spiritual expert in the city. I follow him to all of them because I don't have a choice. Where he goes, I go. Most of them are frauds. They do dramatic readings, claiming to contact various spirits, but none of them can actually see or hear me. I watch Adrian's hope die a little more with each failure. Then we visit an old woman named May, who runs a small shop in the oldest part of the city. She takes one look at Adrian and says, "The boy you're looking for is standing right next to you." Adrian's head snaps toward where I'm standing. You can see him? See him? No, but I can sense him. His energy is wrapped around yours like they're tied together. May gestures for Adrian to sit. This spirit has been with you for a long time, years. 5 years, Adrian says. He died 5 years ago, saving my life. May nods slowly. That's why he's bound to you. He died protecting you, so his spirit remains as your guardian. It's rare, but not unheard of. How do I talk to him? How do I see him? You already did, didn't you? Recently. During a moment of intense emotion or danger. The earthquake. Adrian breathes. When the ceiling was falling, I saw him. I felt him push me out of the way. In moments of extreme need, the barrier between worlds becomes thin. Love and desperation are powerful forces. May pours tea for Adrian, but you cannot live your entire life waiting for earthquakes to see him. Then what do I do? May is quiet for a long moment. There are 2 paths. 1, you let him go. You perform a ritual to release his spirit so he can move on to the afterlife and find peace. No. Adrian's answer is immediate and firm. What's the other path? You find a way to bring him back. Bring him back? Adrian leans forward. You mean bring him back to life? That's possible? May's expression is serious. Possible? Perhaps. Advisable? Absolutely not. The balance between life and death is not meant to be disturbed. I don't care about balance. Tell me how. I want to shake Adrian, to tell him not to do this, but I can't touch him. I can't do anything except watch him go down this dangerous path. May sighs deeply. There is an old legend, a ritual performed under very specific circumstances. If a living person is willing to give up half their remaining life force, they can share it with a spirit who died protecting them. The spirit would return to life, but both would live shorter lives. How much shorter? Impossible to say. If you have 40 years left to live, you'd each have 20. If you have 10 years, you'd each have 5. The universe takes half of whatever time you have remaining. I'll do it. Adrian doesn't even hesitate. You don't understand what you're saying. You could die young. You could have years stolen from you. I don't care. Adrian's voice is steel. I've spent 5 years without him. That's 5 years too many. If I get even 5 more years with Kai, it's worth it. Tell me what I need to do. May looks at Adrian for a long time, then finally nods. You'll need 3 things. First, an object that belonged to him, something he touched often in life. Second, a place where his spirit is strongest, usually where he died or where his strongest memories were made. Third, complete conviction. If you doubt for even a moment during the ritual, it will fail and may cost you your own life. Adrian already has his phone out, typing notes. What else? The ritual can only be performed during a lunar eclipse. The next one visible from this city is in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I watch Adrian's mind already planning, already preparing. This is the man who built an empire through sheer determination. Now he's going to challenge death itself. Over the next 3 weeks, I watch Adrian prepare obsessively. He finds my old school uniform, the one I wore the day I died. It still has my blood on it. He keeps it carefully wrapped in cloth. For the location, he chooses the park where we used to go as kids. The same park where we had our first fight, our first deep conversation, where he first called me Wifey as a joke that became our thing. It's where our happiest memories are. He reads May's ritual instructions hundreds of times. He practices the words until they're perfect. He arranges everything down to the smallest detail. But I also watch him start giving away his possessions. He updates his will. He writes letters to his parents, to his business partners, to everyone important in his life, just in case. The night before the eclipse, Chen visits Adrian's penthouse. I haven't seen them together since the breakup. Linda told me you've been acting strange, Chen says. She's worried about you. I'm worried about you. I'm fine. You canceled a month of meetings. You've been visiting psychics. You look like you haven't slept in weeks. Chen sits down across from Adrian. This is about Kai, isn't it? Adrian doesn't deny it. What if I told you I found a way to bring him back? I'd say grief is making you believe in impossible things. What if it's not impossible? Chen reaches out and takes Adrian's hand. I understand loving someone so much you'd do anything to have them back. But Kai's gone, Adrian. You need to let him go and live your life. What if I don't want to live my life without him? The pain in Chen's eyes is real. Then I hope whatever you're planning brings you peace, because you deserve happiness, even if I can't be the one to give it to you. They hug goodbye, and I realize Chen truly cared about Adrian. In another life, they might have been perfect together. But this is our life, our story, and it's not over yet. The night of the lunar eclipse arrives. Adrian goes to the park at midnight, carrying my old uniform and May's instructions. The moon is slowly being swallowed by Earth's shadow, turning deep red. I'm already there, of course. I'm always wherever Adrian is. He sets up everything according to May's ritual. Candles in a circle, my uniform in the center. He kneels and begins to chant the words May taught him. Ancient words I don't understand. The air starts to feel different. Heavy, electric. The shadows grow darker despite the candles. I feel something pulling at me, like a current trying to drag me toward the center of the circle. Adrian cuts his palm with a knife, letting blood drip onto my old uniform. I offer half my life for his. I offer my future for our present. I offer everything I am to bring back Kai Chen. The pulling sensation gets stronger. I'm being dragged toward the circle now, unable to resist. The world starts spinning. Adrian's voice sounds distant. Come back to me, Kai. Please come back to me. Everything goes white. I wake up cold. That's the first thing I notice. I haven't felt temperature in 5 years. I haven't felt anything physical. But now I'm cold, and I'm lying on grass, and there's pain in my chest from breathing. Breathing. I'm breathing. I open my eyes. The sky above me is dark with the red eclipse moon. Adrian's face appears above me, tears streaming down his cheeks. Kai? Can you hear me? I try to speak, but only manage a rough cough. My throat feels like sandpaper. My whole body feels wrong, like wearing clothes that don't fit anymore. Don't try to talk yet. Adrian helps me sit up slowly. His hands are warm and solid against my back. Real hands touching my real body. The ritual worked. You're back. You're actually back. I look down at myself. I'm wearing the same clothes I died in 5 years ago, somehow restored. My hands are solid. My body has weight. I touch my own face and feel the warmth of living skin. How long? My voice comes out as a whisper. 5 years. You've been gone for 5 years. Adrian pulls me into a hug, and I can feel everything. His heartbeat against my chest, his tears on my shoulder, his arms holding me tight like he's afraid I'll disappear again. I hug him back, and we stay like that for a long time, just holding each other under the eclipse moon. Eventually, we make it back to Adrian's penthouse. Everything feels overwhelming. Colors are too bright. Sounds are too loud. My body feels heavy after being weightless for so long. But I'm alive. I'm actually alive. Adrian makes me tea even though his hands are shaking. I have so many questions. Do you remember being gone? Everything. I remember all of it. I wrap my hands around the warm cup, marveling at being able to feel warmth again. I was there, Adrian. I've been watching over you this whole time. I saw you build your company. I saw you with Chen. I heard every word you said when you thought you were alone. His face goes red. Everything. Everything. Then you know I never stopped loving you. Even with Chen, even when I tried to move on, it was always you. I set down the tea and take his hands in mine. I know. And I'm sorry I couldn't tell you I was there. I'm sorry you had to grieve alone. You're here now, that's all that matters. But then his expression turns serious. Kai, there's something you need to know. The ritual, it took half my remaining life. I don't know how much time we have. It could be decades or it could be years. I don't care. You should care. I might have stolen your chance at a full life. I laugh, actually laugh. And it feels amazing to hear my own voice again. Adrian, I died when I was 18. I got 5 bonus years as a ghost, and now I'm alive again. Every moment from here is borrowed time anyway. I don't care if we have 50 years or 5 months. I just want to spend whatever time we have together. He kisses me then. Our first real kiss after years of longing and waiting and being separated by the barrier between life and death. It's gentle and desperate and perfect. When we finally pull apart, Adrian whispers, "So what now? How do we explain to everyone that you're suddenly back from the dead?" I have no idea, but we'll figure it out together. And we do. It takes creativity and some careful legal work, but we managed to give me a new identity. Officially, I'm Kai Lin, Adrian's new personal assistant, who happens to look remarkably similar to his dead childhood friend. Unofficially, everyone who knew us before suspects the truth, but doesn't say anything. My parents nearly faint when they see me. Adrian arranges a private meeting, and we tell them everything. My mom cries for 3 hours straight, holding me like she'll never let go. My dad just keeps touching my face like he's checking I'm real. Life starts to find a new normal. I move into Adrian's penthouse. I actually become his personal assistant because I don't have any recent work experience. I make sure he eats lunch and doesn't work too late, just like I always promised I would. But there's still one problem we haven't solved. 6 months after coming back to life, I wake up to find Adrian staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. Can't sleep? I ask. Do you ever regret it? He asks quietly. Saving me? Both times? I prop myself up on my elbow to look at him. Never. Not even for a second. I think about it all the time. You had your whole life ahead of you. You could have gone to college, started a career, fallen in love with someone who didn't cost you half your remaining years. I did fall in love with someone. I fell in love with a stubborn idiot who built an empire and who literally challenged death to bring me back. I touch his cheek. Adrian, every choice I made, I'd make again. No regrets. He turns to face me, and I see tears in his eyes. I'm scared, Kai. What if we only have a few years? What if the ritual took more than half? What if I wake up one day and you're gone again? Then we make every single day count. I kiss his forehead. We don't waste time on regrets or fear. We just love each other as hard as we can for however long we have. But his fear isn't completely unfounded. About a year after my return, I start getting sick. Nothing major at first, just tired more easily. A cough that won't go away. Adrian insists we see dozens of doctors, but none of them can find anything wrong. May visits us one evening. She takes one look at me and shakes her head sadly. The ritual was never meant to be permanent. A spirit brought back to life is like a candle burning at both ends. It burns brighter but shorter. How long? Adrian demands. I cannot say for certain, but you should prepare yourselves. Adrian doesn't accept that answer. He starts researching other rituals, other solutions, anything that might give us more time. He becomes obsessed with finding a way to make my second life permanent. One night, I find him in his office surrounded by ancient texts and occult websites. Adrian, you need to stop this. There has to be another way, another ritual, another price to pay. Adrian, I take his face in my hands and make him look at me. Listen to me. I don't want you spending whatever time we have left desperately searching for more time. I want you here with me, living. I can't lose you again. You're not losing me. I'm right here. I'm alive because of you. We got our second chance. I smile at him. Do you remember what you used to call me when we were kids? Wifey. He laughs through his tears. Then make an honest man out of me. Marry me, Adrian Zhao. He kisses me and whispers, yes. 1,000 times yes. We get married in the same park where the ritual happened. It's a small ceremony. Just our parents, a few close friends, and Chen, who smiles genuinely when Adrian kisses me at the altar. The sky is clear and beautiful, and for one perfect moment, everything is exactly right. The sickness gets worse, slowly. I start sleeping more, eating less, having trouble breathing sometimes, but I don't complain. Every morning I wake up next to Adrian is a gift. 2 years after coming back to life, I'm in the hospital. The doctor still can't explain what's wrong with me medically, but I know the truth. My borrowed time is running out. Adrian sits next to my bed, holding my hand. He's been here every day, sometimes sleeping in the chair, refusing to leave my side. Do you remember the day we met? I ask him. He smiles through his tears. First grade. You punched Tommy Chen because he stole my lunch. You were crying so hard. I thought you'd never stop. I squeeze his hand weakly. I gave you half my sandwich. It was peanut butter and jelly. I hate peanut butter. I know, but you ate it anyway because you didn't want to hurt my feelings. I laugh, but it turns into a cough. That's when I knew you were special. That's when I knew I wanted you in my life forever. Adrian brings my hand to his lips and kisses it. You became my best friend that day. My protector. My everything. And you started calling me Wifey in second grade. Because you always took care of me. You made sure I ate. You helped with homework. You protected me from bullies. His voice breaks. You've been taking care of me your whole life, Kai. Both of your lives. That's what you do when you love someone. We sit in comfortable silence for a while. The hospital machines beep steadily. Outside the window, the sun is setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. Adrian, I need you to promise me something. Anything. When I'm gone, really gone this time, you have to keep living. Build amazing things. Fall in love again if you want. Be happy. I see him about to protest and stop him. I'm serious. You gave up half your life to bring me back. Don't waste the half you have left grieving. Live enough for both of us. I don't know if I can. You can. You're the strongest person I know. I smile at him. Besides, who knows? Maybe I'll come back as a ghost again. Maybe I'll haunt you forever. He laughs through his tears. I'd like that. I'd like having you around even if I can't see you. Then it's settled. If there's any way for me to stay with you, I will. My parents visit that evening. My mom tries to stay strong, but she breaks down the moment she sees me. Dad holds her while she cries. They both know what's happening. We all do. I'm sorry, I tell them. I'm sorry I put you through losing me twice. Don't you dare apologize, Mom says fiercely. We got 2 extra years with you that we never thought we'd have. 2 years of seeing you happy and in love. That's more than most people get after losing a child. Dad nods. We're grateful for every moment, son. And we're grateful to Adrian for bringing you back to us, even if it was just for a little while. After they leave, Chen stops by. He brings flowers and a sad smile. I heard you were here, he says, setting the flowers on the bedside table. I wanted to see how you were doing. I've been better, I admit, but I've also been worse. I was dead for 5 years, so this is still an improvement. He laughs. You still have your sense of humor. That's good. He glances at Adrian, who stepped out to give us privacy. Take care of him, okay? Even after you're gone. He's going to need you. I will. And Chen, thank you for being good to him when I couldn't be there. You made him happy for a while. That means everything to me. He was never really mine, Chen says gently. He was always yours. I just kept him company until you could come back. That night, alone with Adrian again, I feel it happening. My breathing gets harder, my vision starts to blur. The machines start beeping faster. Adrian, I whisper. He's immediately at my side, holding my hand tight. I'm here. I'm right here. I love you. I've loved you since we were kids. I'll love you even after this. I love you too. So much. Tears stream down his face. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for every moment we had. No regrets? Not a single one. I smile. My eyes are getting heavy. Good. That's good. I use the last of my strength to squeeze his hand. See you soon, husband. See you soon, wifey. I close my eyes and let go. The last thing I hear is Adrian's voice, broken and beautiful, saying my name like a prayer. Epilogue, 5 years later. Adrian stands in front of a building with a bronze plaque that reads, The Kai Chen Foundation for Youth Protection and Empowerment. It's been 5 years since Kai died the second time. 5 years since Adrian kept his promise to keep living. The foundation helps bullied kids, provides scholarships, and creates safe spaces for young people who need protecting, just like Kai always protected others. Adrian touches the plaque gently. I did it, Kai. I'm actually helping people, making a difference, just like you always did. The wind blows, warm and gentle, ruffling his hair. I know you can't answer me anymore. I haven't seen you or felt your presence since you passed. But I hope you're proud of what we've built in your name. I hope you're at peace. He turns to leave, then stops. Standing near the entrance of the building is a young man, maybe 19 or 20, with familiar eyes and a warm smile. He looks almost exactly like Kai did when they were in high school. Excuse me, the young man says. Are you Adrian Zhao? I'm here to volunteer. My name is... He pauses, looking confused for a moment, like he forgot what he was going to say. Then he smiles brighter. My name is Kai Lin. I know it's probably weird, but I felt drawn to this foundation, like I was meant to be here. Adrian stares at him, his heart pounding. It's impossible. Reincarnation doesn't happen this fast. But those eyes, that smile, the way he says his name. It's nice to meet you, Kai, Adrian says softly, his voice shaking. I think you're going to fit in perfectly here. As they walk into the building together, Adrian could swear he hears a familiar laugh on the wind. Some love stories never really end. They just find new ways to begin again,